You may be surrounded by some people you think might not take you serious at the moment. You might be surrounded by people who you might think are using you. You might think they don't really care about you. You might think, man, is this relationship even worth having? Man, I wonder what my friends really think about me. Or you might think, man, I wonder what my girl thinks about me. Or I wonder what this girl thinks about me. Would anybody care if I just disappeared one day? You may have these thoughts, and when we have these thoughts, it affects us a lot because we may put our heart into people, and we have a big heart, so we really care about what other people think about us. We care about their happiness. We just care about being our best selves, being comfortable around people. But most of the time we don't really get this energy back, so we also start to get these thoughts of, man, do they even care about me? Or like, am I important to these people? And the solution to this issue is just to disappear one day, man. And the reason I say this is because disappearing can be so powerful. And you may ask, how can disappearing be powerful? Now, I'm gonna tell you a secret, man. People only care about things after they leave their life or after they don't have access to it anymore. So when you remove access from yourself to certain people, that's when you'll really see who your true friends are. That's when you'll really see if they actually cared about you. That's when you'll really see if they'll start to check up on you. That's when you'll really start to see if they bring the energy back that you were giving back to them. Now, just imagine, like, you had a friend that you talked to every day, or you had a family member that you talked to every day, and they just disappeared one day. Like, how would you feel? Would you check up on them? Would you wonder where they were at? Would you go out your way to contact them? And that's why disappearing is so important, because I've done it myself. I actually have a habit of doing this, I'm not gonna lie. Like, sometimes I might not feel important to some people, or sometimes I might feel like I need to distance myself, and so I'll basically just I'll remove myself from certain situations. I'll remove myself from certain groups of people to see if they actually cared about me, or to see if I'm actually worth their time, worth their friends. And when you do this, you'll notice that some people actually don't care about you, but you'll notice that some people do care about you. And like I said, this is a very powerful tactic that you can use, but you can ruin a lot of relationships by doing this. But at the end of the day, you need to see if these people actually care about you, because if you're putting out more than that you're getting back, then the relationship is not really worth having. It's supposed to be like a 50-50 type thing, and when you, like I said, when you remove access from yourself to other people, they will start to notice it if they actually cared about you, and you'll see if they were actually using you because of what they'll ask you, or how they treat you after you disappear, or you'll just get you'll just see how they act towards you. You'll see, like, the reaction. You'll see what they say. If they don't say anything at all, they really never cared about you, man. So use disappearing to your advantage. And I know it's hard because you might not want to feel lonely. You might want to feel like you're losing your only friends. You might want to feel like, man, what are you talking about? Like, how can this actually work? And the thing is you don't want fake people around you. You want people who actually genuinely care about you. You want people who actually care about how you're feeling. You want people who actually care about what you're going through, how your mental is, what are your problems like. You want people who actually, want the best for you. So I feel like you have to distance yourself away from these people at some point to really find out who your fake friends are, to really find out who really cares about you, man. Because at the end of the day, like, we can be surrounded by everyone, but we can still feel alone. So we need genuine connections to actually feel like we mean something to somebody. And it can be hard because it takes a lot of work to build like a long-standing relationship. It takes a lot of inner work. It takes a lot of caring about how the other person feels. So keep that in mind. Like, if you're in a relationship and you only care about how they feel, but they never asked you how you felt about certain stuff, or what went wrong in your day, or how your day went, or just basic things that a friendship is supposed to have, man, you really get to narrow out who really cares about you. And when you do this tactic, you will see people don't actually care about you how you thought they did, or they might care about you for a little bit, but at the end of the day, people are moving on with their lives. People have things that they have to worry about, so you won't be their top priority. And it's supposed to be like that. We're supposed to have people in our lives for a season. I made a video about that. So we're not supposed to have everybody in our lives for as long as you think we're supposed to. People come and go all the time. We have certain people in our lives for certain reasons. You may be going through a problem and you need a certain person for that problem, but just know that these people won't be in your life forever, man. So you got to use what you learn from this person. You got to use, the positives and the negatives to be a better person in the relationships that you have, man. Like I said, I made a video on people coming to your life for a season. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and watch that, man. But, disappearing, man. Recently I've done this to myself to see, I was interested in this female, right? So, and I know a lot of males do this, man. We'll do everything for this female, like, we'll, text them, we'll ask how their day was, we'll ask how they're feeling, we'll just go out our way to do nice things for this person. But, me personally, I felt like I was doing too much myself, so I had to distance myself. And, when you distance yourself from certain people, you see their true colors, you see how they really act. And it's either they actually care about you, they'll say, man, you're acting strange, what's going on? Or, they'll blow it off, they don't really care, they'll just move on and, just go on with their life. So disappearing is really powerful, man. And I know it sounds bad, but, it could really save you time and energy if you use it correctly, man. And I'm not saying just to do it, but if you feel like that you're giving your all into certain relationships, or you feel like that you're not getting the same thing back, you're not getting the same reaction back, or you're trying to figure out who your fake friends are, you're trying to figure out who your real friends are, you're trying to figure out if you really have any friends, use this tactic because, like I said, it would save you time and energy, and it will really show people's true colors if they actually cared about you or not. And, it's hard when we go through these thoughts of, man, do I feel important? Do I feel like I'm worthy of this person? And, we're not supposed to feel like that. If you have any thoughts like that, rare chances they really don't care about you, because, in a friendship, you're supposed to know if they genuinely like you. Like, it's like a no-brainer. Like, you won't have these thoughts if you have, like, an actual genuine friendship. Now, when you start to have these thoughts, you kind of start to act different around certain people. You start to act different around your friends. You start to be more conscious. You start to be more, sensitive, more protective of your energy. And, they're going to notice that right away. They're going to notice that you're kind of being off. They're going to notice that you feel a certain way about a certain situation. And like I said, if you have an actual genuine relationship, you're not going to feel like these things. You're not going to really question the relationship. You're not going to really worry about if the person cares about you or not. We only feel like this when we feel like we're putting more in than we're getting out. So keep that in mind when you're in it could be a friendship, it could be a relationship, it can be, somebody that you're talking to currently. It could be anything, family member, anything like that. So keep in mind that it's supposed to feel like a genuine connection. We're not supposed to have these thoughts in our heads, but we have them, we have them all the time. Or, it could be, a lot of people say that they have traumas. So, it could be something that happened in your past. We start to feel like we're not worthy of somebody because of how somebody in the past treated us, which, to be honest, everybody is different, so you can't just rely on that one person. You can't just use that excuse to act different to another person, You can't just think that everybody acts that way because of how a situation affected you or how somebody treated you. Not everyone is the same, everyone is different, man. And, a lot of us, we have similar qualities, but not everyone will treat you bad. And let's say that you do use the art of disappearing. Let's say that you really found out who your true friends are. Let's say that they never hit you up, they never, they really didn't care about you in the first place. Don't feel discouraged, man. Just know that you finally found out who your fake friends are, and just focus on yourself and go meet new people, man. You will eventually find people who care about you. You will eventually find people who are meant to be in your life if you just work on yourself and you focus on yourself, because you'll start to see new opportunities where you can meet new people, where you can, just really focus on your quality of life. You'll start to, just take advantage of all your opportunities. You'll start to really care about having genuine relationships when you really start to focus on yourself, when you start to weed out who are meant for you, who are meant to be in your life, man. And most of the time when we finally learn that those people aren't meant to be in our lives, we start to look at all the mistakes we had. We start to look at, man, why did I waste my time? But the thing is you can't think like that, man. You gotta think of the positive. You gotta think of, I know these people did you dirty. I know these people don't care about you, right? But you gotta think of all the positive experiences you had with them. You gotta think about what you've learned when you were in those relationships. You gotta think of the person that you became. You gotta think of the person that you're going to become. So you can't just always think of the negatives when something didn't go your way or a relationship didn't go your way. I said that in a previous video, I'm not sure which one, but we need to start thinking of the positives. Like, a lot of people, they have toxic relationships, they have, bad friends, they have bad influences, they have bad parents, they've been in bad situations, but we only look at the negatives of those situations. If we just start to look at the positives, the situation, yeah, it was bad, but it won't be as bad as how it was. And you need to look at the positives because it shaped you into a different person. It made you the person that you are today. It made you the person that you want to become. It gave you a new mindset. It gave you something to strive to. It gave you something that you don't want to become. It gave you a person that you don't want to be. It made you turn into a person that you want to treat other people. You want to be more genuine. You want to have more meaningful connections. Like, there's a lot of positives that came with the negatives, and if we only focus on the negatives, then eventually we just become a negative person, and we become a person that other people don't want to be around. But when you become a positive person, you start to become a person that other people want to be around, and other people start to look up to you. Other people start to ask you for advice. Other people start to, try to become like you. They try to have your mindset. They try to become positive because, the world is full of negativity. So we can't always be negative, man. We gotta be positive in some way, shape, or form, man. And being positive, that's like the gateway to happiness almost. When we're positive about, certain stuff, we don't feel like the burden of the negatives that came with it. We don't feel the burden of, man, is my life over? We're just focused on, how can I turn this bad situation into a good one? How can I turn this situation into my favor? How can I grow from this? How can I be a better person? How can I change? How can I inspire people? How can I, use this situation to the best of my ability? So when you start to change your mindset about certain people or certain situations that you've been in, that's when you become your best self. That's when you become your most powerful self. And that's what I want you to focus on, man. Like I said, if you just recently went through some people that, dropped out of your life, or you thought you had a genuine connection with somebody, don't look at the negatives, man. Just look at the positives and move on. Life is too short to worry about how this person treated you, or where this person is in your life, or this person left my life, man. Think of the new people that you're going to meet, and think of how your mindset now will affect your relationships in the future. So that's where I'm gonna leave it off for now, man. My name is Keith Bryan. I hope this video helped you in some way, shape, or form, man. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.